There's this quiet revolution happening right now. It's not taking place in a city or in some high-tech lab, but out in the world's fields. A massive digital transformation is underway, and it's all powered by artificial intelligence. It's completely changing the way we grow our food. So let's dive into how this silicon harvest is really unfolding.
Okay, let's start with a number, 10 billion. That's the projected world population by the year 2050. And that number, well, it's a staggering figure that really sets the stage for one of the biggest challenges of our time. And that brings us to the core question, right? To feed everyone, we're going to need to produce at least 50% more food. The catch? We have to do it with less land, less water, and a climate that's getting more unpredictable by the day. Trying to do that with the old ways of farming? It's just not going to cut it.
So to really get why this revolution is happening right now, we have to look at the immense pressures our global food system is under. And these aren't small problems. We're talking about huge, systemic challenges that make new tech not just a nice idea, but an absolute must-have.
Okay, take a look at this. This really puts the scale of the challenge into perspective. I mean, look at these numbers. Farming already uses a whopping 70% of the world's fresh water. At the same time, about 1.6 billion hectares of land are degraded, which is just massive. And then there's the people problem. We're facing major labor shortages on farms all over the world. You put all that together, and you've got a system under some serious pressure.
So the big question is, how do we possibly meet a challenge this big? Well, we're doing it with a whole new set of digital tools, all powered by artificial intelligence. And this isn't just a small step forward. A lot of people are calling it the third green revolution, and honestly, that's not an exaggeration. It's a fundamental change in how we do agriculture.
Now, at the very heart of all this is an idea called precision agriculture. And forget about one-size-fits-all farming. This is all about using technology to manage a farm, not just field by field, but literally plant by plant. We're moving from broad strokes to absolute surgical precision. Okay, so how does this actually work on a farm? Let's break it down. First up, you have data capture. Think of drones, satellites, and tiny sensors as the farm's new eyes and ears, collecting tons of real-time data. Then, AI algorithms get to work, sifting through all that data to spot patterns a human could never see. That leads to the really critical step, anomaly detection. The AI can flag super subtle signs of stress, like a tiny change in leaf color that could signal a disease. And then, the final piece of the puzzle, all that info gets turned into clear, actionable alerts sent right to a farmer's phone or tablet, so they can step in at the exact right time and place.
All right, so that's the theory. But what does this new digital toolkit actually look like out in the real world? Let's take a look at how it's making farms smarter, greener, and way more efficient.
And wow, the difference is like night and day. Traditional farming is all about blanket applications. You spray the whole field, you water the whole field. But with AI, it's surgical, it's targeted. And that means less water, way fewer chemicals, lower costs, and a much, much smaller environmental footprint. And the best part, the crops are actually healthier. Just think about the impact on water for a second. By pulling in data from soil sensors and weather forecasts, these AI-powered irrigation systems can slash water use by up to 30%. In places that are prone to drought, where every single drop of water counts, that is a total game changer.
And here's the kicker. It's not just about saving resources. By making sure every plant gets exactly what it needs and catching problems before they spiral out of control, farms that use these AI tools are consistently seeing their crop yields go up by 15 to 20%. I mean, they're literally growing more food with less of everything.
Okay, get ready for this number because it is absolutely staggering. Technologies like John Deere's See & Spray use computer vision to actually tell the difference between a crop and a weed. So instead of dousing an entire field in chemicals, a robot applies just a tiny drop of herbicide only on the weed. Can you even imagine what a 90% drop in herbicide use means for our soil, for our water? It's a monumental shift.
And listen, this isn't some far-off future stuff. It is happening right now. You've got the big players like John Deere rolling out autonomous tractors to deal with labor shortages. But at the same time, you've got these incredible innovators like Farminaut using satellites to make this AI advice accessible to basically everyone. And startups like Kilimo and robotics are just killing it with hyper-efficient irrigation and super precise spraying tech. The innovation is happening at every single level.
Okay, so we're talking about robots and autonomous tractors, and naturally that brings up a really big question. What about the farmer? Are we talking about replacing the farmer?
But the reality is, AI isn't about getting rid of farmers.
It's about totally transforming the job. All those repetitive, back-breaking tasks like manually pulling weeds are getting automated, and that frees farmers up to focus on the bigger picture, becoming tech managers, data analysts, and the strategic thinkers behind the whole operation.
And this quote, it just nails it perfectly. AI robotics is creating high-value opportunities and reshaping how farm work gets done. It's an evolution. It's about making the work safer and setting up a more sustainable and future-proof career for the next generation of farmers. So at the end of the day, we're not talking about replacing a farmer's intuition or their years of experience. Not at all. We're talking about supercharging it. The farmer of the future is part technologist, part data analyst, and part strategist, using these incredible new tools to amplify their deep knowledge of the land.
So the momentum here is just incredible. But let's be real, it's not a perfectly smooth road ahead. Let's talk about some of the hurdles we still need to clear.
If you want to see just how big this is going to be, just follow the money. Back in 2024, the AI and agriculture market was already worth over $1.6 billion. But with it growing at over 25% every year, it's on track to hit a massive $8.5 billion by 2030. I mean, that kind of growth, that is a huge vote of confidence in where this is all headed.
But, of course, to get to that future, we have some major hurdles to navigate. There are basic infrastructure issues, like how do you get good internet out in the middle of nowhere? And how do we make sure small farms can actually afford this tech? Then, there are the data and people challenges, keeping sensitive farm data secure while also making sure we have people with the right skills to use all this new tech. Tackling these issues is going to be key.
So yeah, the silicon harvest, it's not on the horizon anymore. It's already started. These tools are giving us a real path to a future where we can actually feed a growing world while taking care of our planet. The technology is here. The real question is, are we ready for it?